Hi, and welcome to Cat Run Figures. I'm your host, Caitlin, and today we are going to be reviewing Images The Magdalena, issue 1. So, I wasn't sure about this when I first picked it up. I wasn't 100% sure. I tried Googling it, and I found all this weird stuff about an older book, so I wasn't sure if this was a new book or if it had an older series before. Apparently it had an older series previous to this that I've never read before, so I can honestly tell you, reading this for the first time, this was a pretty decent jumping on point if you're at all interested in picking up this new run. So, getting right on into the comic, the Magdalena. So, the idea is that in every generation, a woman is chosen, and it has to be a woman from divine blood. So someone who is from the blood of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene. So this goes along with the theories that they had children and everything. So you know what? Take religion aside. This is a comic. Take religion completely aside and think about that for a second. So she is embodied with this powerful staff that the spear apparently actually pierced Jesus at the crucifixion. And it endows her with a number of powers as a result. So the whole idea is that she goes through and she battles demons and monsters and just evil. She battles evil. So when I read that in the very beginning, I started going through the very first part that they always showed at the beginning of every Buffy episode. And I was just like, and in every generation one is chosen, and she will fight the vampires and the darkness, the forces of evil. I'm not gonna lie, I totally said that whole spiel in my mind. But
don't lie, it was out loud.
Whatever. Anywho, very similar concept. Different, but very similar concept. So when we open up into it, the current Magdalena Patience, which I'm not sure if she was the Magdalena from the previous run or not, it doesn't really matter, brand new run. So she is coming up against a bunch of demon worshippers, and they are trying to raise a very powerful demon. So she has her suit on and the spear of destiny. And the entire time she's fighting with them, they're all talking about how old she is. She literally gets called a hag in this issue, and she's like, "Hag, I'm 32." And she ends up fighting this large demon, and she is trying to banish it away with the spear. And the demon is telling her that she's grown weak. She's too old to be carrying the spear. And she herself even agrees that she's carried the spear longer than any other Magdalena before her. And the issue is, her powers seem to be failing her. The staff is failing her. And she's never even thought about bringing up a successor, about finding the next girl to take the staff after her. So she gets seriously injured during this fight, and all of these different questions that have never even come up before in her mind all hit her all at once, and she's saying, am I failing the staff? Am I failing my mission and my goal in life by not having a successor? And, she's seriously injured. She apparently is supposed to be able to heal quite quickly, and she's not. I mean, everything is failing her. She feels so lost, and ultimately she decides she has to find a true successor. So, continuing on in the comic, we get to see Maya. So, Maya is your average, I think they said she's 19, your average 19-year-old girl, and she just wants to go out with her friends and do whatever and sneak into a club to see some guy. You know, her mom wants her to go to a Wednesday night mass. She doesn't want to do that. Instead, she wants to go to a brand new goth club that just opened up in their town, which, come to find out, a guy that she knows that keeps asking her to go to that club is actually there, and he's made a deal with a demon. So he's gotten this weird, like, infected, gross-looking tattoo, and the whole idea was he was supposed to bring Maya to this club. He was to get her to come. And he doesn't really understand 100% what this deal is. So finally, they're done with him. They told him they're done with him. He's out. But he is not done with you yet. So we don't know what that he is until later on. So the two girls are trying to get inside the club. They're not being permitted because they're not 21. And they're like, why? Why can't you just write little X's on our palms? You know, just so they can't drink. But they're saying that close to opening, it's not happening. They get to see the guy that they were going to meet, and he's tossed out. They think that he's just some junkie, and they're going to go try to clean him up, take him to a diner. So we get to see the infected, nasty tattoo that he has. Yeah, it's like a demon marking, and there's like this evil fly that keeps festering it. Yeah, but once they get to the diner, he starts to have a little bit of an attack. So this demon is like tearing him apart from the inside, and there are all these flies, and they tear out of him, and they swarm around. And that's when the Magdalena shows up, and she tells Maya and her friend to stay where they are, that she's got this under control. However, they need to pray for her. And they're saying she's kidding, right? And she said, nope. If you want to live, pray, believe, circle yourself in salt. So all this is going on, and the Magdalena's trying to combat this demon, and Maya, it's like something just clicks for her. Something that she's never really understood before, something she's never really believed in before. Earlier in the comic, they were talking about whether or not she was an atheist and her beliefs on organized religion. And she's seeing this woman she's never met before, battling this demon, something that she never believed in before, and it's like she gets a calling to it. She feels the power of that staff. And somehow she knows the Magdalena is going to die if I don't do something. So she rushes in and she takes the staff for herself. And in that instance, when she takes the staff for herself, it lights up a way that it hasn't lit up for the Magdalena in quite some time. So she has truly found her successor in the form of Maya. So Patience is screaming at her to put the staff down. She doesn't know what she's even doing. And Maya just feels all this power coursing through the staff. So she's decided she's going to use it. She just feels it. She knows what she's doing. And Patience is telling her, Maya, no, listen to me. So here's the demon, as you see right there. And the demon gets hit by the light. She's screaming at him to go in hell. And then we get to see the swarm of flies leave. And Maya's not really sure what just happened. And the guy's dead. Greg is dead. And Patience hurries up to grab the staff away from Maya and tells her that she screwed up. She's just released this demon and she shouldn't have taken the staff. She doesn't have the training for it, blah, blah, blah. And Maya tells her that she just felt it. She knew that this was hers somehow. It was calling to her. And Patience says that she understands because the staff once called to her as well. And she was the Magdalena, but now Maya is. So she also tells her that Maya, when she went to attack the demon, instead of defeating it, she actually released it within our world. So thank you, Maya. There's a demon running around now. And we get to see further on into the comic the same shady club demon worshiper guys are there, and they're discussing what's just happened and the fact that this young girl just unknowingly released a demon, and that they just didn't know that she was going to be so helpful. So that was it for this first issue of the Magdalena. It was pretty interesting for a first issue. I've never read this before, and I don't think I've ever even heard of this comic before, to be honest. Which, I'm probably going to really shame myself by saying that. But it was pretty interesting. I feel like it was a good jumping on point for someone like me who never actually read this before and just kind of had a cursory knowledge through different things. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. The art was really gritty throughout, and I'd like to see where this goes moving forward. So give me a like if you like this review, comment below, and tell me whether or not you picked up this comic, and if you enjoyed it as much as I did. Subscribe to my channel for more comic book content, or check out any of my older videos I have for offer here on Cat Run Figures. And until next time, I'm your host, Caitlin. Bye.